of screen. Doggers will be kicking to the right of screen, so they're heading towards the town end, towards the lawn bowls, and away we go. And it looks like we have Wynyard getting the tap away. It's a balmy 8 degrees outside at the moment. There's no wind really to speak of. As when you get the ball forward, try to pick it up there is the Burnie Dockers defender. Unfortunately, she's been deemed to be holding the ball. Ball inside forward 50 for Wynyard. Piper Humphreys onto the football. Unfortunately, unable to get the kick away. It's repelled by Burnie. Back outside the forward 50 for Wynyard. Mark taken in there by Kath Witherden. She repels the football inside centre square at the moment. Burnie through the services of Gillett. She's wrapped up in a great tackle. So 2 great tackles there by the Wynyard women. Looks like it was Imogen Bramich with that, and that's Wynyard's first. Through Amy Bissett. So Amy Bissett kicks the first goal. They're on the board. Wynyard Cats. We've played all of 1.5 minutes. Kicking towards the Table Cape end of the ground. Good start to the Wynyard Cats. That's the boost that they need after the disappointment in playing against the Devonport Magpies last time they were at home. No one able to clear from the centre square bounce. Charlie Davis jumping in there for Wynyard. Oh, that was a huge push in the back. Umpire says no. Kobe Breakey, the player doing that to Wynyard. Inside forward 50 is Olivia Smith, the captain. No clean possession. Piper Humphreys gets a handball out. Ball going nowhere. Alana Patterson knocks it forward. Gaining mid-edge. Burnie under pressure. I'll get the free kick though. And that'll be through the services of Reese Davis. Transfers play across the opposite side of the ground. Chloe Moran. Ugly attempt at a kick. Picked up by Bryant. Kicks the ball forward. And that will be a free kick to Burnie. Takeo Pyle, I think it is. Far side of the ground. Outside forward 50 for Wynyard now. Still a bit slippery on the deck. Patterson, Breakey. Good work there by Jess Whelan. And they've found the target inside forward 50 for Wynyard. It looks like it could be Bissett again with those orange boots. As I mentioned before, it's 8 degrees here. No wind to speak of. A little bit dewy on the ground. Wynyard with a shock loss last time they were at home against Devonport. That's a good kick. And I tell you what, she's on fire, young Bissett. That's 2 in a row. So Amy Bissett has kicked the first 2 goals of the game, 2 straight, Wynyard. And we've just hit around about the 4.5 minute mark of the first quarter. Burnie yet to score. In fact, they actually haven't been passed to the centre square. No one able to clear. Liv Smith. Working hard. She gets her hands back on the football. It's wrapped up by Witherden and Breakey. Umpire says, give it to me. We'll do it for the third time. Good use of the body there by the Burnie ruckman. Ball held to Liv Smith. Great tackle there by Kath Witherden. That's a great tap there by Charlie Davis. And deemed to be a free kick given away by Burnie ruckman. I think that's Cherokee Jamie Denby Kay. No, it is Summer French. So inside forward 50 for Wynyard. All steps 1, steps 2. Round on the right. Patterson finds a target. Oh, is that a goal? Interesting. But the umpire says it's one behind. Couldn't get a foot to it was Abby Weller. So that's the first behind of the game. 2 goals, 1 to Wynyard with a rush behind. Burnie yet to score. Burnie have showed some improved performances as the year has progressed under the tutelage of Cody Schultz, who's come across from Penguin, last year's premiership coach. Elise Hoiberg-Cox after the football. Liv Smith receives the handball there from Kennedy O'Halloran, runs into a bit of trouble. Burnie trying to get away, unable to do so. Got the fumbles. We'll see a ball up centre wing position right in front of the grandstand. Here, and Wynyard umpire hasn't done that correctly, so they're going to call it back and replay. So it'll be Davis versus Summer French. Davis with the athleticism over the top. Tapping the ball forward there was Isabella Hardy into the centre square. Picking it up, Moran. She got the handball out and then receives the free kick for being held without the ball. So this will be the first time they've been past the centre of the Burnie Dockers. To pack of players. Davis gets it. Repels. Back towards inside the centre. Humphreys kicks the ball to herself. Picks it up. Good agility. Inside forward 50. Mongrel kick though. Ball bounces. Davis leads all comers to it. Gets a free kick for over the shoulder. And she will be looking to repel here out to centre half back. And that's a great mark there taken by Millie Baker. Burnie Tigers basketballer. Also plays for the Tornadoes. It's a good kick too. Jess McCulloch wasn't able to take that on the chest. Go straight through her arms. Picked up by Piper Humphreys. Kicks the ball back towards half forward. Running onto it. Bissett. Finlay Bryan. She kicks it inside forward 50. That was good agility and speed. Jumping over the top there was Alana Patterson. Diving on top of the football with the Burnie Dockers player. That being Kath Witherden. It's been in everything so far. We'll get a ball up just inside forward 50 for the Wynyard Cats. About 35 metres out from goal. Smith wrapped up in a tackle. Ball goes to ground. Girls were fighting for it again. As the sun comes through, I'm sure that the ground will dry out throughout the course of today's proceedings. Looking forward to the battle here this afternoon between the Burnie Dockers and the Wynyard Cats in the men's. As Witherden tries to get a handball away. Unsuccessful. Good tackle. Breakey's, though, able to do so. Gets the ball over to Chloe Moran. Kicks the ball down to centre wing on the far side. Scoreboard side of the ground. Ball not out. Able to keep knocking it forward to Burnie. No clear possession when you're able to repel. But there it is, Breakey again. Cross half back. Stopping the thwart of the Wynyard Cats women. In towards the centre, towards Summer French. Trying to help her out. There's Michaela House. The handball clear, but only goes to the services of Olivia Smith by the Burnie Dockers. And Smith kicks it forward for Wynyard. Jumping onto it. There is Charlie Davis. Brings it inside, forward 50. No one's able to take the mark. Good pick up. Patterson. And that's another goal to Wynyard through the services of Piper Humphries. So that's her first. And they've extended that lead out to 19 points. 3 goals, 1, 19. The Wynyard Cats at the 10-minute mark. Burnie yet to score. In fact, they've yet to get inside their forward 50 as yet. Been able to get it to half forward, but unfortunately, there's been no penetration in relation to their offensive measures. Endeavours there. Strategy and skill yet to hurt Wynyard. Witherden, ball comes out to Humphries. Last goal kicker. Hardy tries to pick the ball up once, twice, gets the handball that we deemed a throw. Indeed it is. Good pressure there by Burnie across half back. Mobile kick forward, no one in particular. Humphries is unable to take the mark for Wynyard. Jumping on top of it is Alicia McGrail. She's wrapped up in a tackle and ball up will result. Centre wing position, scoreboard side of the ground. Smith trying to get her hands on it. One of the premier players in the NWFL senior women's competition. Harsh there by the umpire. Humphries been called for holding the ball. Kirby Breakey will be the recipient. Not sure where she's going to. 3v1. And they'll 3v Wynyard. She's going to get the ball back because they've kicked it straight back to her. So Breakey, Kirby, there's another goal. It brings the ball back in towards the centre. This looks a little bit better. However, she's overcompensated. Smith. No, she's going to get some help there from Whelan. Bramich. Back to Smith. Inside forward, inside the centre square. Oh, that's in the back umpire. Certainly is. Wynyard will get the kick through the services of Bissett. Actually, it might have been Kennedy O'Halloran. My apologies. In fact, it's number 15. We'll have to try and work that out because number 15 wasn't on the team sheet. Kick inside 450 by Ellie Ewington. No one able to take the mark, and we're right in the goal square for the Wynyard Cats. Get an easy score, another score here. Back end of the first quarter. Looking forward to hopefully having a chat with the senior coach of the Wynyard Cats men at quarter time. Going around was Finlay Bryan, gets a handball towards, kick. By Isabella Hardy, goes across the face and it's tapped through by Reese Davis for the Burnie Dockers. So it's another behind. Good long kick out into the centre square. Relieves some pressure. Witherden. Inside centre square. Ewington, unable to take the mark. Under a bit of pressure. Ball's knocked out. Jumping on top of it was Bissett. Free kick will go to Wynyard in the centre square. Towards half forward. Might have been O'Brien. And O'Brien was indeed. No one's able to take the ball cleanly. Working hard is Bramich. Gives it back out to Bryan. She tries to knock it further afield towards Whelan. Again, no one's able to clear. We'll get another ball up. Centre wing position, grandstand side. Millie Baker. for Burnie. He was strong in the ruck, followed up. He goes with it, and again, she jumps on top of the football. She needs to be careful here. She might get pinged for holding. No, says the umpire. Isabella Hardy for Wynyard on over the top of her. That's a good tap there by Charlie Davis down to Smith. She's always on the move, is Olivia Smith. Kicks inside forward 50. Along the ground. Trying to pick it up. It's Humphreys. She has a shot on goal. And she's gone to the right-hand side. So Piper Humphreys, 1-1 in the first quarter. Looking elusive up forward. I'm going to kick out there and taking them. Reece Davis to Millie Baker. Baker goes wide. Kick needed more penetration. Finlay Bryan over the top of it. She gets pushed off it by McGrail. Good defensive effort. Baker follows up. And that's the end of the first quarter. And we see Wynyard 3-3-21. At the 16-minute mark, Burnie yet to score. Our goal kickers in the first quarter for the Wynyard Cats. Piper Humphreys has 1 and 2 to Amy Bissett. And Burnie yet to worry the scoreboard or scorers, the goal umpires today. Keegan Weller, the coach of the Wynyard Cats. About to have a chat to his charges. They break into their groups. Same applies at Burnie. As we can see down there, the girls are into their groups, having a bit of a chat amongst themselves. Alicia McGrail taking charge of the girls in the forward half. Last time these two teams met, so the Wynyard Football Club and the Burnie Dockers in the NWFL Senior Women's League, we had Wynyard Women coming out on top. Quite convincingly, 12 goals, 13.85. 12-13-85 to Burnie, who didn't worry the scorers whatsoever, so they didn't hit the score board. Goal kickers for Wynyard on that day. Charlie Davis, the ruckman, number 9, kicked 7. Jess Whelan, the vice-captain, she kicked 2. Alana Patterson, 1, along with Nikki Ellis, Ella Moody, and Piper Humphrey. And Ella Moody. Ella Moody not playing at the moment. She's part of the Devils program. She's out with a knee currently. Not sure that she'll be back this season. Morris Regional College student in Year 11. Hopefully she's been undertaking her rehab. Seriously throughout the course of this year, so that she's able to come back fitter, stronger, and not worried from a psychological point of view in relation to her return to the park. So Keegan Weller, he's now going to get his charges together. We can see the Burnie Dockers women. They are currently getting some instructions there from Cody Schultz, and Keegan Weller getting his charges together for Wynyard. So Olivia Pringle looks like she's the runner for Wynyard at the moment, running in the pink. also part of the Devils Academy program. Unfortunately, she's also been out injured throughout the course of this year. We'll take a quick break here from Wynyard, and we'll be back with the second quarter very shortly, where we see Wynyard 3-3-21 lead Burnie yet to score. Welcome back to the Wynyard Recreation Ground, where it's a balmy 8 degrees, which has ticked over about 11:15, I'd suggest, here in the northwest coast, where we see Wynyard 3-3-21, leading Burnie yet to score in the women's game. Burnie this quarter will be kicking to the left of screen, so they're heading towards the Table Cape end, and back towards the Lawn Bowls or the City end will be, to the right of screen will be Wynyard. It's Millie Baker up against Charlie Davis. Baker gets the tap down for Burnie. So this is a better effort so far. Witherden, wrapped up in a tackle by Smith. Ball's dropped to the ground. Trying to pick it up and clear it is Millie Baker. She's wrapped up in a tackle. Baker. And also getting some assistance there through McGrail. Knocks it forward. So this is a better start in the second quarter for the Wynyard women. It was unfortunate. We were hoping to get Dan Smith up here from the Wynyard senior coach for the men's at quarter time, but unfortunately he wasn't able to make it. Hopefully we'll get Andy Lee at 3/4 time, the men's senior coach for the Burnie Dockers. Kirsten Stone gets the free kick inside defensive 50. Wheels onto the left. Goes to Mia Pay. Over to Bramett. Abby Weller that was. It kicks the ball towards half forward. In fact, the point. Davis wins the ruck tap. We'll get a secondary bounce. Millie Baker this time. McGrail tries to take on the tackler and unfortunately does too much. Mia Pay will get the free kick. Running around the outside was Finlay Bryan. Pay goes inside forward 50, looking for Patterson, and she's going to receive the free kick. She was pushed underneath it by Burnie Docker counterpart. And I think this is a little bit too far out for Patterson. Lana Patterson from Wynyard. Nonetheless, she's gone towards the top of the goal square. No mark. Roving Smith. She kicks the goal. She's all over it today, Olivia Smith. She'd be leading on the stats board, there's no doubt about that. She's a leader with a capital C next to her name for the Wynyard Football Club in the NWFL Senior Women's, but she's also one of the more prominent players across the coast, as well as being a part of our state team. So Olivia Smith gets her first for the day. Stretches the lead out to 27 points. So that's the fourth goal for Wynyard. 4-3-27, leading Burnie yet to score. Ball up. Doesn't see the move far from the centre square. Bounce. It's holding the football. Incorrect disposal. Kirby Breaker will get the resultant free kick. Imogen Bramich there, I think, trying to get rid of the football. Breaky, great competitor. Needs to work on her kicking though. Erin Ewington gets the handball forward after taking the mark. Pay. Overrunning its Bissett. McGrail picks it up for Burnie. Unable to clear of it. Berkery. Usually see her in the ruck for Burnie. Haven't seen her there today. Taking down, holding down centre half back at the moment. Molly Baker. No one able to clear it. Again, we'll have another ball up. Wingy clear. Good tackle by Burnie through the services of Elise Hoiberg-Cox, former Wynyard player. Sister still not out there. Still worried about, I would imagine, the head knock that she received a few weeks ago. I could dearly do with her services. She goes out wide to centre wing. Overrunning the football is Chloe Moran. Bramich for Wynyard gets a handball. Diving on there was Patterson. Still not able to clear. Some real courage shown by both teams' players. The way in which they dive on the football. They go head first into the contest. Davis gets the kick away. Oh, and a good mark to Isabella Hardy. Looks further afield, looking for Smith on the lead. Oh, she takes on Witherden, gets the handball. Over to Bramich, back to Smith. Smith inside 40 now. Short kick, looking for and finding the full forward. And that's Abby Weller. So Weller now will be having her first shot on goal. Just outside centre, the goal square. Should be a conversion here. Oh, believe it or not, it is. So she's on the board. And that's her first for the day. She's kicked one goal, and extends the lead out to 33 points. So it's 5-3, 33 Wynyard women. They've got this game in hand. There's no doubt about that. Burnie yet to score the school level, and its strategy is very different between the two teams. Wynyard are definitely more potent in attack, in their ball movement, much crisper. Humphrey's asking for a free kick for over the neck, over the shoulder. Witherden dives on the footy, can't clear it. Coming onto the field is Brittany French, one of the captains of the Burnie Dockers. Coming off was Monique French. Looking for some change in fortune of the Burnie Dockers. Didn't have the best of years last year. Picked up a coach, won the premiership at Penguin. Hoiberg-Cox It's a kick. I wouldn't say it's clearing. Picked up by Bramich. She goes wide. To no one in particular. Scrap. Another ball up. Crowd's slowly starting to build here at the Wynyard Recreation Ground. Cloud cover's come across now. That sun, unfortunately, hasn't come out, even though we have some reasonable light. Ball just forward of centre for Burnie. On the scoreboard side wing. Kayla House, the vice-captain for Burnie, looking to get on. Toyberg Cox picks the ball up. Takes on two players, gets away. The kick, though, doesn't find target. Bramich. For when he gets the handball. Another one. That's a good follow-up. Humphreys. Able to just knock the ball forward with sheer persistence and gets it centre forward for Wynyard. Davis wins the ruck tap against Baker this time. Humphreys leaves it. Charlie, no. Might have been Alana Patterson there. Diving on top of it was Davis. Witherden. Gee, she tries hard. Young Kath Witherden. Fortunately, wrapped up and we'll get another ball up. Kayla Keogh for Burnie coming off. Going on is Takia Pyle, number 18. Ball still in that centre square. Not going anywhere really. This will be about our fifth ball up in the space of 30 seconds. At least we've got a clearance now. Humphreys running onto the football. With it and with the pressure, Smith overruns it. Goes back. Good smother. Davis inside forward 50. Looking for Weller. And she's beaten to it though by McGrail. Getting a kick there after McGrail. That's a good kick. Around the corner. Amy Bissett, that's her third for the day. Amy Bissett, 2 in the first. And 1 in the second. And extends the lead out to 39 points. 6-3, 39. Burnie yet to score. We see Jess Whelan come back onto the ground. Coming off is Isabella Hardy. A lot on today. The Wynyard girls with regards to personnel. Burnie got the numbers. So Lauren Carrison, one of the vice captains, looking to get on. All up. Second time. Baker wins it down. Storming through was Bryan. Good kick inside 450. Gets the. Oh, it's Humphreys who gets the handball. Off Patterson. In the back. I think that might be Olivia Smith. In fact, it's Jess Whelan. So Jess Whelan gets her first of the game, the vice captain. Also another premier player, represented the state last week up at Latrobe. She takes the lead out to 45 points, 7 goals, 3. 7 goals, 3 to Wynyard. Burnie yet to score. Davis. Humphreys off the ground. Bissett unable to pick it up. Ball inside forward 50. By Wynyard. Couldn't quite pick up the player that kicked that. girls with red boots. Bissett's inside forward 50. Not quite sure who that was over the far side. It might be Kennedy O'Halloran. Bissett over the back of the pack, roves the football, goes into an open goal square and puts through her fourth. Well, this is a debacle here for the Burnie Dockers women, unable to stop anything that Wynyard are throwing at them, and it's 8-3-51. 8-3-51 at the 13-minute mark of the second quarter. Burnie yet to score. Davis over the top. Hands to the football was Piper Wickham. She kicks it forward for Burnie. Hoping to see Reece Davis jump on top of the football, knock it forward. Unable to do so. Ball comes out here to Piper Humphries. Gets a handball running onto it though. It's Keogh. She's run into a fierce tackle from Liv Smith. It goes wide. Look at them go. Bryan. Good mark there. By Patterson, she wheels and goes. Top of the goal square. Free kick has been given to Burnie. And it looks like it's going to Millie Baker. Not sure what the kick do. So it goes towards half forward. Actually, that was Millie Baker. I'm not sure who that might have been. McGrail down back. No, that's McGrail now on top of the football. And get a ball up centre wing, grandstand side. Baker wins the tap from Davis this time. A free kick has been pulled out of that mess and is going to Finlay Bryan. The Wynyard women spread here. Decides just to go long. Looking for Patterson. They knock the ball forward. Running onto it is Whelan. She has a shot on goal. That's her second for the quarter since coming on. Late in the quarter she's come on. She's been effective. And she extends that lead out to 57 points. So 9 goals, 3, 57. Wynyard Cats. Burnie yet to score. Maybe just hoping for that halftime siren coming very, very shortly. Less than a minute to go. Wynyard, on the other hand, will be looking to continue his dominance. Smith goes one way, goes the other, then gives the handball back. Oh, she falls over to Bryan. Loses possession of the football. Great tackle there by Bramich. Ball's able to go inside 450 for Burnie. They're a real chance here. Unfortunately, they don't have the speed. Keep. Not able to do so. Picking it up was Pay. She's had 1 bounce, 2 bounce. And repels, and there's the siren. 9 goals, 3, 57 Wynyard. 9 goals, 3, 57 Wynyard. Burnie yet to score at the end of the second quarter. So it's a 6-goal second quarter to Wynyard. Our goal kickers are as follows. We've got 4 goals to Amy Bissett, 2 in the first and 2 in the second. 2 to Jess Whelan, both late in the second quarter. We've got 1 to Piper Humphries, Olivia Smith and Abby Weller. So we see Wynyard 9-3, 57. Too slick, too skilled, too smart, and too strong over the football for a determined Burnie side. Nonetheless, they're going to have to reconfigure their game plan for the second half. And hopefully they'll come out and be able to hit the scoreboard. as well as be able to put the brakes on this emerging Wynyard outfit, who have been the last couple of games a little bit disappointing and light on numbers. They lead by almost that 10-goal margin. So it's 9-3-57. 9-3-57, the Wynyard Cats. Burnie yet to score at the Wynyard Recreation Ground. We'll leave you for half-time, and we'll meet you back here for the second half for the Wynyard women versus the Burnie Dockers. She's going to receive the free kick. She was pushed underneath it by Burnie Docker counterpart. And I think this is a little bit too far out for Patterson. Alana Patterson from Wynyard. Nonetheless, she's gone towards the top of the goal square. No mark. Roving Smith. She kicks the goal. She's all over. Wynyard clear. Good tackle by Burnie. Through the services of Elise Hoiberg-Cox. Former Bramage back to Smith. Smith inside 40 now. Short kick looking for and finding the full forward. Just outside centre, the goal square. Should be a conversion here. Oh, believe it or not, it is. So she's on it. Goes back. Good smother. Davis inside forward 50, looking for Weller. She's beaten to it though by McGrail. Getting a kick there after McGrail. That's a good kick. Around the corner. Ball up. Second time. Baker wins it down. Storming through was Bryan. Good kick inside 450. Gets the, oh, it's Humphries. He gets the handball off Patterson in the back. I think that might be Olivia Smith. Girls with red boots. Bissett's inside forward 50. Not quite sure who that was over the far side. It might be Kennedy O'Halloran. Oh. Bissett. Over the back of the pack, roves the football, goes into an open goal. Hello, that's better. Now I can hear it. So what did you just do then? All right, so what's the volume for that then?
That, I believe, is in your headset.
So if I turn that up, I I'd like to welcome you back here to the Wynyard Recreation Ground for the women's NWFL seniors match between the Wynyard Cats and the Burnie Dockers. Third quarter just getting underway. And you're able to repel from that centre square bounce through a chain of handballs up towards half forward. Brian getting the handball back to O'Halloran. Stone then taken across the shoulder and she'll receive the free kick. Asked to give the hands, you could hear that by Keegan Weller, the coach, down on the boundary to Olivia Smith. She's looking further forward for Isabella Hardy, unable to take the mark. Summer French repels. Teammate not quick enough, Brown to keep, loses the football. Ball comes back towards Isabella Hardy. Doesn't take the mark. Lays a pretty ferocious tackle. And she's going to be deemed to be giving the free kick away. That's a push in the back. So they go inside inside the centre square bounce. Inside the centre square, my apologies. Breaky, though, is able to repel because the ball got punched forward into the defensive 50 for Burnie. She kicks towards centre wing. No one's able to take the ball cleanly. Running after it there was Brown to keep for Burnie. In the back by Witherton, and receiving the free kick will be Amy Bissett, goal kicker. No one in particular. French. Burnie gets it, kicks it back from whence it came. Patterson finds Brian inside forward 50. And we've got a ball up. No one able to take the ball there cleanly. Patterson on top of that, along with French. French strong in the ruck, drops the ball. I would say that would be incorrect disposal, but the umpire doesn't agree. And we're going to get another ball up. About 30 metres out from the Wynyard goal. Kicking towards the table cape end, left the screen. Patterson gets the handball out towards Smith. The handball ineffective. The umpire says it's over the shoulder. And getting the free kick is number 11. And that's Ellie Polk. I believe I was calling her Imogen Bramage, as according to the team sheet, that's what she was in the first half. It's actually Ellie Polk. She must be back at the moment. She's been away. Finlay Bryan jumps on top of the football, and I would say that would be holding the ball. Umpire says no. We're going to have another ball up. 15 metres out from goal, on about a 15-degree angle. Millie Baker working hard. Gets the kick. No one able to clear. Davis working hard for Wynyard. Stoner over the top of the football. Breaky gets... No, it's not Breaky. It's Kerrison. She gets a handball. In fact, it might have been... No, Kerrison it was. And it was deemed to be throwing the football. So Isabella Hardy will get the free kick here. She's going to go deep, I would imagine. Oh no, short. Good spot up. Hits Olivia Smith. Leading possession getter on the ground. Good kick. Just weighted that naturally. Used her body also was Finlay Bryan on the end of it. And she has taken the mark. She's directly in front of goal. No wind to speak of. About 15 metres out. And Finlay Bryan causes more pain. The girls are pretty happy. She causes more pain for the Burnie Dockers, and they go 10 to a 10-plus goal lead, so 63 points. 10 goals, 3, 63. Wynyard Cats leading the Burnie Dockers yet to score. Just under 5 minutes into the third quarter. Ball knocked towards the forward 50 for Wynyard Cats. Stone gets a handball. Humphreys over the top, able to pick it up and dispose of it cleanly. Davis. Kennedy O'Halloran kicks inside forward 50. Breakey mopping up for Burnie. Great desire, does Kirby Breakey. The kick goes intercepted by Isabella Hardy. Been prominent in this third quarter. She's going to go short too to a leading Finlay Bryan. She goes short again. Is it going to come off? Umpire's called it back. I would have thought it was just play on, umpire. Apparently there's a free kick being given away. So Breakey's going to get it. And she goes towards Millie Baker. Overruns it. It's inside the centre square now. Knocked off the football is Brittany Burkery. Stone tries to get a handball away. Incorrect disposal. And now she's being deemed to receive the free kick for being held. Gets on that left boot. Heads out towards O'Halloran. Great tackle there by Summer French. Play on, says the umpire. Another great tackle. Oh, this time deemed to be in the back. That's Kennedy O'Halloran. Kicks inside forward 50. Mark, not held by Bryan. And we're going to get a ball up. 25 metres out from goal for Wynyard. Baker repels. Good mark. Diving by Brianna Keep. Let's see what they can do with the football here. She wheels around. And it's a bit of an up and under kick. Unable to take the mark is Chloe Moran. Need to be clean here, Burnie. They're not. They're in trouble again. Pressure on the defence. We just dive on top of the football. And we'll see another ball up. Davis, strong. Thumps it forward. Good follow up there by Davis. Kicks it inside forward 50. Humphreys knocks it forward. Follows up her work. Gets wrapped up in a tackle by Baker. Umpire says, give it to me. Davis, third time in a minute. Knocks it forward. Hardy. Patterson. Kick smothered there by Hardy. And Reese Davis. And we will see a boundary throw in. Last time was an 85-point win to Wynyard Cats. Burnie unable to hit the scoreboard in the last encounter. And at the moment, it looks like we're heading towards a similar result. 63, 10 goals, 3, 63. Wynyard Cats, Burnie yet to score. Breakey wrapped up in a tackle by Bryan. They're keeping that ball inside that forward 50. Wynyard Cats with great offensive pressure. Not only has it been applied throughout the course of today, but I bet right now the Burnie players, every time that they receive the football, perceive they're under more pressure than they actually are. So Poke gets a handball out. Humphreys. Back to Poke. Wrapped up in a tackle. Incorrect disposal, umpire. No. And we're going to have another ball up. Baker wins it down this time. Smith, one way, this way, that way, over to Bryan with hands, and she kicks around the corner and gets her second for the quarter. Sleek outfit of the Wynyard Cats, 11-3-69. Burnie yet to score 10 minutes into the third quarter. Heading for a very similar result to what we saw in the last time that these two teams met. That was at West Park. Wynyard looking to rebound off the disappointing loss against the Devonport Magpies here at their home ground. Only 2 weeks ago, week before the rep game. Davis gets the tap over the top of Burkery. Umpire says play on, advantage given. Smith, handball, Whelan, wrapped up in a tackle, and that's holding the football. Good pressure there by Piper Wickham. A bit stagnant. They just seem to be kicking to a huddle the majority of the time. Elise Hoiberg-Cox is able to get herself free from Smith. She receives the pass from her counterpart. Centre wing, grandstand side. Kick, an ugly one. Repelled there by Wynyard. It's up and under. No one able to take the mark. Hoiberg-Cox again. Batters off 1, 2. Gets a handball. Ewington steals it. Whelan, Smith. She's got a paddock to run into. Chooses the kick. Over the top of Polk. Good pick up there by Patterson. She goes back towards Polk. Takes the mark. About 40 metres out by the time she kicks. Here is Ellie. I'd suggest it might be beyond her distance. She's looking for someone to kick to. She winds up. It's not going to make the distance, although it's been shepherded through, I think. It has. I feel like Bryan. Well, Ellie Polk gets her first for the day, and that's in the third quarter. And they've kicked 3 this quarter. They have the Wynyard Cats, and they move to 12-3-75. 12 goals, 3-75. Burnie yet to score. Crowd starting to slowly build. Still quite overcast here at Wynyard. Bit of despondency upon the interchange for the Burnie Docker women at the moment. And here's Wynyard again. Take the ball from the centre, square bounce. Towards centre, forward. And they're able to hold it in there. And we're going to get another ball up. Smashing through with Summer French. Millie Baker, the recipient. The ball being dislodged. Ewington standing resolute in defence. Although she's swamped by a few Dockers players. Unable to get rid of the ball cleanly. Stone now knocks it out. Comes to Bissett. Elise Hoiberg-Cox takes on the tackler. Gets the ball away. That was Jess Whelan. Ewington tries to pick it up. Showing a basketball skill set. Mia Pay dives in there as well. And we're going to get another ball up, says the umpire. That being Jared Ennis. Ball thrown up. Baker gets the tap down. Humphries overruns it. We're going to get a secondary ball up here. Can they clear it? Whelan diving in. Put a good bump on. It's hurt Kayla Keogh. She's able to knock the ball forward though. Ball comes out the back. Marked by Amy Bissett. She kicks towards centre forward. Smith. Past Breakey with speed. Turns one way. Gives it back to Bryan. She runs into trouble. Handball over to Hardy. Hardy wrapped up in a tackle by Breakey. And that's a great defensive effort by Kirby Breakey. She receives the free kick. Doesn't waste any time. Goes towards and finds Kerrison across half back. Outside defensive 50 at the moment. Oh, kick. Not a good one. Goes in towards the centre square. Bissett looking to pick it up. Kicks it off the ground. Sees a player out there. That's Smith. Running past is Humphreys. She's looking for and finding a leading poke. He's taken the mark on a severe angle, I might say, but on the right side for a right footer towards the Table Cape end. She plays on. Now, although the umpire says she needs to take it back, has to come around the mark first. So Ellie Poke won this quarter. Make that two, ladies and gentlemen, from a severe angle. That's impressive. At a time, ladies and gents, as we hear the siren go for three-quarter time. Wynyard have kicked 10 goals straight. 10 goals straight. Burnie yet to score. So at three-quarter time, we see Wynyard 13-3, 81. 13-3, 81. Lead. Burnie yet to score. Goal kickers for the Wynyard Cats. 4 goals. Amy Bissett, 2 in the first and 2 in the second. 2 goals each. Finlay Bryan, both in the third. Ellie Poke, both in the third. And Jess Whelan, her 2 goals came in the second quarter. And our single goal kickers for Wynyard are Piper Humphreys, 1 in the first. Olivia Smith in the second. And Abby Weller also in the second quarter. So it's 13 goals, 3, 81. 13-3, 81 to Burnie, yet to score. I'm hoping to have a bit of a chat with the senior coach of the Burnie Dockers Football Club. That's Andy Lee. The men's program. And looks like at the moment Andy's not going to be able to make his way up. So hopefully he remembers and we're able to have a bit of a chat with Andy very shortly. Nonetheless, we'll take a quick break here from Wynyard, where we see Wynyard Cats 13-3, 81 lead the Burnie Dockers yet to score at three-quarter time at the Wynyard Recreation Ground. Get her on the ground. Good kick. And she has taken the mark. She's directly in front of goal. No wind to speak of, about 15 metres out. And Finlay Bryant causes more pain. The girls are pretty happy. Goal for Wynyard. Baker repels. Good mark. Diving. Welcome back here to the Wynyard Recreation Ground, where we've got the Wynyard women 13 goals, 3, 81. Leading at Burnie Dockers at three-quarter time, yet to score. Joining me up here in the commentary box is the senior coach of the Burnie Dockers men's, Andy Lee. Welcome, Andy.
Thanks for having me, X.
Yeah, no, you're welcome. Absolutely. Looking forward to today's proceedings. This year hasn't actually ventured the way in which you've wanted it to throughout the course, or to date at this point. At the back end of the season, I'm sure that you are hopeful that the boys are able to resurrect the season against one of, I suppose, Burnie's most or biggest counterpart here in the Wynyard Cats.
Yeah, look, it probably hasn't quite gone the way, but in saying that, we're very pleased that a lot of the internal improvement, especially from some of our young guys, we're still only a game out of third, so it'd be great to really finish off this back end of the year and keep pushing for that second chance spot. So.
Last time the two teams met was at West Park, and your boys got the better of the Wynyard lads, so expect something similar today. The ground conditions are very similar to what was happening at West Park in the previous encounter.
Yeah, look, we're very understanding. Wynyard had a few out that day, and I think it'll be a really good game. We both teams set up really well behind the ball, and I think both in attack are going to be dangerous today. So I think it's going to be a battle of the midfields. Whoever can win it and use the footy the best, well, he's going to be able to hit the scoreboard and execute. So.
Who are you expecting today with regards to stepping up and playing a key or a pivotal role? I noticed that Harry Walters is back into the side, but you can't rely on someone like Harry, who's in his mid-30s these days, in order to be able to be leading the side.
Certainly. Look, obviously Harry Walters, he's always going to be dangerous for us up forward, but we bring in White Kenny today too. Obviously, he's a second game in now for the footy club. He had a great game in our reserves last week, and he would just give us a different avenue towards goal today, and we know how dynamic he can be. We've had games where he's kicked 9 against us in prelim finals, so to bring him in, is a big attribute. But I think our forward line's been functioning really well. We've got so many dangerous guys, with Geordie Dowling, young Liam O'Halloran's been playing really well, and Jalen Bryan up there as well. So have them guys up there, I think it's going to give us a really good look and be able to obviously kick a really strong score. Historically, we've always had a lot of scoring from our midfield, which we don't really want to rely upon because, we need those guys doing a lot of work, sort of back half and forward half. So, we need to ensure that we've got a strong forward line that can really convert for us on the scoreboard.
Tell us a little about Wyatt Kenny. I'm not overly aware of where he's come from, his background.
Yep. Yeah. So Wyatt's obviously been at Devonport for the last few years. So he won the reserves medal last year for the competition. He's just a really clean footballer. He's got great skills, really good balance, can find the goals, and he's really shown, his leadership capabilities as well since he's been at our club the last 3 or 4 weeks. So to have him come in, at this time of the year, I think he's going to be huge for us.
Bailey Bogue back.
Yep.
That'll be good for the side. I know he played last weekend, the last game that you played, which was against East Devonport.
Yep.
He's a key. Obviously, he's pivotal to the side. You're going to lose him again for the state game. There's no doubt about that. So looking to bank some wings whilst he's still available?
Yeah, for sure. Look, we know what Bailey brings. He's such a strong competitor that gives his all, no matter what level of competition he's playing. And we know he's going to have a fair bit of attention today, so we need to look after him. But, Bailey, he'll put his body on the line every contest, and he'll chuck the team on his back at times throughout the day, which we know he does so well. And he's arguably probably the best player in the state at the moment. So to have him, come into our side and lead our side like the way he does is huge for us. And when he's not with us, we do miss him. But we know we got him for the pointy end of the year. So.
Brittany French to Summer French there. Summer goes towards centre wing, grandstand side. No one able to take the mark at the moment. So with regards to the building of the club, you've been there 4 years now.
Yep.
In that senior role. Looking to do somewhat similar to what the Devonport Football Club is, that one club mentality. How are things progressing at Burnie in relation to the development throughout the junior grades and also the women's program?
Yeah, we really think it's definitely grown since I started. There's still plenty of work to do in this space, and I think it's something that continues, as the teams evolve each year. And you've got, we're lucky that we get strong juniors coming into our program every year. We're lucky that we have a big territory where we put a lot of talent, and we just need to make sure we nurture that talent, which has been the focus, especially over the last few years. With the number of debutants we've played at senior level, I think the club's going to be really, set up for future success. Our average age over the last few games has been about 19, and in those sides we've had Harry and Nick Walters play who are 35 plus, and so to have that average age and this group come through together, I think is going to set them up for that success and sustained success. And same with our women's program now, to see the 14s then going to 17s and now have that pathway into senior women's footy. It's just great to see, and it gives them some light at the end of the tunnel. And it takes time to grow that. We've been obviously willing to put in the time and see that rather than recruit heavily. We want to ensure that we look after and nurture our own talent to ensure that, that sustained success is there for the long term.
And Isabella Hardy kicks the goal there for the Wynyard Cats. So that's the first of the fourth quarter. So they move to 14-3, 87. Burnie yet to score. I just noticed then in the last 2 or 3 minutes while we were chatting, Andy, that the Burnie Dockers women are starting to show a little bit more resolve with regards to their endeavour's really good, but their skill set and their strategy, and I'm assuming that's why you've got Cody Schultz and you brought him across from Penguin at the start of this year to be able to develop a game plan that will somewhat keep them a little bit more competitive than what they are against some of the better teams.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, Chalky did a great job, in the last couple of years, and to then bring Clint in, who's been a part of a really successful program at Penguin. He's certainly being able to install some values and behaviours, and certainly keep improving the skill level of our women. But it's more so helping set up the program long term from the 14 through. So he's been huge at doing that, and when we understand that things just don't happen overnight. So we want to keep seeing that through, and Clint's certainly keen to keep that going, and to see our juniors and how they're progressing, especially under Gus Maney and our 17 girls. I think it's an exciting future for our footy club, and we know women's footy is going to keep growing. It won't be long till we have all junior sides and reserves, seniors, and in the women and under 18s. It's going to be crazy, and it's good to see.
On that, how does the club deal with the resources and logistics in and around that? So infrastructure, ground maintenance, volunteers, etc.
Yeah, look, it is very, very tough, especially ground availability for trainings, etc. It does make it hard with so many teams, and it's something that we're going to have to continue to work on, especially with councils and schools, and keep building those relationships and building those resources so we can continue to have availability to train and play. But obviously we all need volunteers at our footy club, and that's a part of that is probably fallen away from early 2000s, etc. in terms of the volunteer level. Everyone's time poor, but we really value and appreciate everyone that gives their time up to our footy club, and especially for free. So we love that people are passionate about our club and want to give their time up, and we want to support those people, but we're always willing for people to come on board and help out where they can.
Mia Payne, opportunistic there, just kicked the goal. So second goal for the Wynyard Cats into the fourth quarter. So about the 6 minute mark, and they lead 15 goals, 393. 15 goals, 393 to Burnie yet to score. Olivia Smith with the ball on centre wing on scoreboard side. The way in which they're moving the football at the moment, they're looking for Ellie Poke there, shows that they are a little bit more established at the moment. I noticed you've brought a couple of girls from Wynyard across, so the Boyberg Cox girls, for example.
Yep.
In order to be able to start to develop under Clint. So that shows that the club are looking not just within but without, in order to be able to support the girls that are part of the Burnie Dockers community.
Yeah.
Yourself personally, what are your plans with regards to your coaching? You looking to further progress yourself, mate, with regards to what you're doing? I mean, you've obviously had opportunity playing at the elite level, as well as then at the Premier level. So at State League, and now at the NWFL Premier League level over the journey. Now into the coaching space, you've done it for 3 or 4 years. So you're looking to continue that particular pathway?
Yeah, look, I think at the moment I'm really concentrating on finishing this year. I'm due to have some conversations with Jamie and our board over the coming weeks to see what next year might look like, and start really painting the picture from here on in. We want to make sure the club's in a successful position to be able to move forward. So whether that's with me or without me, we need to get a good understanding. I need to ensure that the club's in good hands. If I was to ever step away, and same with Jamie and the board. So we've always got club first mentality. So if that means that there's someone better out there that needs that opportunity, or for myself, if I'm going to pursue other opportunities, or home and family commitments and work commitments, as we all know how busy that gets, then we'll make that decision when that time comes.
And a third goal there for the Wynyard Cats through the services of Ellie Ewington. Just prior to that, Kirby Breaky, a superb smother right in the goal square for Burnie. Her endeavours are amazing. I must admit, I've seen a few games now for the Burnie Dogger girls, and she's been terrific with regards to her endeavour. Skill set, when she's got the football, still has a little bit of improvement within, but in saying that, she's been fantastic. So, but anyway, that's Ellie Ewington has been moved from back to forward in this final quarter by Coach Keegan Weller. Then they've hit the 100. So 16 goals for 100. And she's the third goal kicker for the Wynyard Cats in the fourth quarter. So Ellie Ewington, Mia Payne, Isabella Hardy also on the board. So with regards to your end of year development, with regard your personal ambitions and so forth, and what the club will be doing, it's more about what's best for the club. So that's terrific. And then similarly, whether actual opportunities arise for yourself. We see Ellie Pope take the mark and play on. Kick inside forward 50, no mark. Again, Breaky gets a hand to the pill and wraps up. I think that might be Jess Whelan off the top. No, it's Patterson. Patterson for the Wynyard Cats. Another ball up there. Lily Baker doing well in the ruck. She's did well, obviously, or does well, very well with basketball, involved with the Basketball Tas State Development Program, part of the Tornadoes. As Kirsten Stone has a kick. You got to kidding me. It's hit the post as the grubber goes through and hits the post. So that's her first score of the day. So they move to 16 goals, 101. Burnie yet to score.
Yeah, Millie's an exciting prospect for our footy club. You know, for her to come in with no really prior footy experience, she's got some natural athleticism and an exciting player for the future of the club. Absolutely.
Who else in the women's program do you see that could be taking off very shortly? And they may not be actually be out here. They might be part of the under-17s.
Yeah, look, there is some really, really strong girls throughout our under-17s program. Piper Sharman is one that really rings a bell. Just probably what I said with Piper is, the work that she puts in, and not just at our footy club but externally, she's just wanting to do everything she can to get better. Here I look at some of the young girls that I've seen over previous years come through, like Takia Pyle, and that was close as well. Takia Pyle, Britt French, some of these girls that haven't played a lot of footy that's starting to get some games under their belts. Chloe Moran's, a really good young athlete as well. So there's plenty to work with. It's just making sure that we keep surrounding them with people that have sort of played a lot of women's footy, or men's footy that can keep coaching these girls to ensure they can make the most of their abilities. So.
Absolutely. From a personal perspective on the AFL scene, you involved with the Essendon Footy Club. You're in a bit of a dark spot at the moment, mate. What are your thoughts in and around that? Have you still got ties to the club?
Oh, look, still got a lot of friends there, as well as in other clubs now, where some of those mates have now gone on to other coaches in other programs. So, look, it's interesting. Essendon that club just carries a lot of weight in terms of how big and how powerful it used to be, and unfortunately they haven't had success since 2000 really. So I think it will come. They just need to keep working and developing their young prospects to ensure that they can really compete at that higher level. I think there's always that doubt there when it does get tight, or in big games that they do fall away, and that mentality just needs to change. And they had a fair board overhaul over the last couple of years, and brought in some of the past players that have been a part of the successful programs that Essendon have been involved with. Whether that's for the good or the bad, I'm not sure yet, but I think just the weight of the club, there is something there that you do carry, and no doubt Collingwood and these other big clubs do, but it'd be nice to see Essendon start finding some success for their supporters and fans that have stuck with them for so long. So.
Yeah, 2 behinds for the Wynyard Cats. Second one there coming through the services of Kirsten Stone. She's rather disappointed with her effort there as she went to the near side. Burnie are able to repel, and the kick out has been taken there by Elise Hoiberg-Cox. I wanted to ask about the injury because the injury toll at the Westland Footy Club, and you're no stranger to that,
Yep.
Dinger. Do you think it's got something to do with the management of the players or the surface itself? Have you been out to Tullamarine? Because were you there at that point in time? Or were you still at Windy Hill?
No, we were at Windy Hill in that time, but yeah, obviously the reports coming out of Tullamarine, there are some question marks with it. But look, to be honest, if you look around a lot of the AFL clubs at the moment, there are a lot of injuries. Like I think of Richmond, what they're going through, their soft tissue injuries and knee ACLs and all this sort of stuff at the moment. I really think, whether it be training standards, whether it be the conditioning of the players, the toll and the speed of the game is so high these days. Just the minor tweaks can make a huge difference, and the athletes just so powerful when they're running power and how they change direction. And if there is a bit of a surface issue, it can impact. But look, I personally don't think it would be the surface at Tullamarine that's causing it. It's probably looking more at the individual kids and what they actually have been put through now as juniors, because they are doing so much work when the young bodies are developing. They get into these programs and pushed at a higher level, and sometimes they do break down. So I guess it's a constant management. It's constant looking at the stats and the data and seeing what individuals need, and it's always going to be a part of high level sport is injuries. So.
Ellie Poke with the ball across half forward for Wynyard, kicking inside forward 50. Ewington the target, unable to take the mark. Summer French gets the handball out, and they were able to, through the service of Reece Davis, kick the ball out towards half back for the Burnie Dockers. Ball inside forward 50 again. Charlie Davis jumps on top of it. Picking it up and getting rid of it was Brittany French. Ugly looking kick. Jess Whelan's going to be the first there to pick it up. She picks it up. She's a good player, Jess Whelan. She sees Finlay Bryant. See, you can see the strategy here. They've gone across the ground. They've got some width. Ellie Pope now coming back to the club. Been on the mainland for a period of time. Kicks towards the top for the 50. Fly across the top there was, I think that's Ellie Ewington, and she gets her second for the quarter. So they move to 18 goals, 8, 116 Burnie yet to score. I just want to ask you about the younger players into the system these days, whether that be the women and or the men.
Yeah.
You talk about management of players and so forth. Should the draft age be brought up in order to be able to manage that? And that's the final siren where we see 18 goals, 8, 116.
It's a tough one. Look, I think they do look outside of that 18 now more than they ever have, that age of 18. But, I think for them to get the young guys, I think it's really managing them once they get into the program. I think they've got to have somewhere to go. It's all well and good to say bring the draft age up, but then, once they finish their time in the under-18 programs, whether the leagues that they're playing in, they've got to go somewhere, and you don't want that just to be for 12 months. So I guess, we've just got to do more to support the kids when they come into the programs and nurture them through, but instead of feeling like you've got to rush them in because, maybe the supporters want to see the talent come in early. We've just got to make sure that their bodies are right for it, and they've done the work to be able to then have a long and I suppose injury-free career.
Yep. And with the prospect of the Tassie Devils coming to fruition.
Yep.
Yeah. What are your thoughts?
Oh, look, it's super exciting for the state. I'm a big believer that we need the stadium for sure. Just understanding that with these AFL players coming down, not all of them are going to just be playing for Tasmania because of their previous origins, etc. So that, they're not all going to be. They need a base to really be set up and a place that they can be proud of and play. Under this potential roof would be so exciting. I look back to see what Gold Coast got put in when they started, and they were training out of shipping containers and things like that. And no secret they struggled to hold on to players early days. Retention's going to be a big one for Tassie, especially until we can get really strong talent keep coming through Tasmania, that we can start really filling up that side. If we can get 60% of the side Tasmanians, then obviously, being able to retain players is going to be a lot easier. So there's a bit of work that needs to happen, but it's so exciting for young players coming through systems in Tassie, knowing that they can stay in our state, play for the map, and really represent. So, me being a young guy going through that system, I would have loved to see that. But, now these guys get an opportunity to do it and to get Tasmania on the big stage and show what we're capable of. From a character point of view, I think Tasmania has, a really strong character that they can really, show the rest of the country that what we're about. So it's exciting, but a lot to happen.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much for your time today. I really appreciate it. Good luck this afternoon. We're looking forward to the match between Wynyard and Burnie. And as you mentioned, you're only one game out of the three, so top three. And obviously, you want to get that double chance if that comes to fruition. So all the best. Thank you very much. And we look forward to catching up with you throughout the course of the remainder of the season.
Thanks, Zach. Cheers, mate.
Appreciate it. Andy Lee, coach, senior coach of the Burnie Dockers men. And look forward to seeing what they can do this afternoon. Hopefully it's a little bit better than the senior women counterpart. 18-8, 116 the Wynyard Cats defeated Burnie, who were unable to score. So the goal kickers for the Wynyard players were as follows. Kicking 4 goals was Amy Bissett, 3 to Finlay Bryan, 2 to Ellie Polk, also to Jess Whelan and Ellie Ewington. Singles were to Piper Humphreys, Olivia Smith, Abby Weller, Mia Pay and Isabella Hardy. Kirsten Stone would be a little bit disappointed. She had a couple of shots right in front of goal and unable to take advantage of those. Better players for the Burnie Dockers today. Kirby Breakey was no doubt the best player on the ground for them, along with Kath Witherden, who had a scintillating first half of defensive pressure, was terrific. Millie Baker, as we mentioned before, in fits and spurts, but she's got some great athletic potential. Also doing well was Summer French and the captain, Brittany French. For the Wynyard women, well, there's a smorgasbord of players that did exceptionally well today. None better than Olivia Smith, the captain. So the number 8, she also kicked a goal throughout the course of today's proceedings. Finlay Bryan was very good on the ball up forward and then in the last quarter down back. Jess Whelan, prominent too, the vice-captain and also a member of the state and representative sides for the NWFL. Ellie Polk was in and out, along with Ellie Ewington, in particular in the back half, Isabella Hardy for periods throughout the course of today, Piper Humphreys, Amy Bissett, very prominent in particular on the scoreboard with 4 goals. Well, we thank you for your time today with the NWFL senior women's game between Wynyard and Burnie. Unfortunately for the Burnie Dockers, it didn't go the way in which they liked. The score was 18 goals, 8, 116 to Burnie, yet Burnie unfortunately unable to score. So last time they met, they've added almost 40 points. So 85 points that they won with the Wynyard Cats at West Park. So this round, they've won by over 116. So congratulations to the Wynyard Cats. We'll be back for the live streaming of the NWFL senior men's game between Burnie and Wynyard, and we're looking for a cracking matchup here at Wynyard. Currently it's about 9 degrees. It's starting to warm up ever so slightly, but there is no wind, and we look forward to seeing you then.